It's the podcast.
It is the podcast. You told me I didn't have high energy today.
I didn't know.
So I was like,
sing the song yet.
Let me come in high energy. I am getting a little bit over a cold.
Gross. Listen, Corey, if our twin faces, mine collects your germs. You're collecting them from your kid. I didn't have a kid. I shouldn't have to get sick.
And look, you're not.
I feel it coming on.
Heather thinks it's these greens she
Yeah, okay, here's my thing. I keep a record because it takes 2 seconds to add it to my calendar when I get sick, right? Just so there's a log.
So weird.
And when was the last time you got like, hey,
Today.
So that way I can say like, oh, when was the last time I got sick? Okay, so typically 2 times a year.
Right.
But it really puts me on my behind.
It does.
Yeah, like the way you describe that'd be me.
I know, but when you have kids, you don't get to be on your bum hiney.
Okay, well,
you have to.
When you have a job, you also don't get to be on your bum hiney.
You could be a little
Corey
on your bum.
likes to act like a smarter. Her kid holds up in his room for 20 hours with a computer.
He will coming off in your face if you want to.
But
welcome.
No, I'm not done saying the green stuff.
Go ahead.
Okay, so my older sister said, "Hey, do you want to do the challenge to take AG1 Athletic Greens for a year?"
Greens.
They rebranded halfway through the year, so now it's AG1, I guess. So I guess they don't want to be
athletic green.
I think they were geared towards people who play sports, which is not me.
Oh.
So then they were like, let's just call it AG1. You lazy one. So I've taken it all year, and I have to say, I have not gotten sick this year.
What is the greenery that is in AG1?
Just every vitamin shoved in.
Does it taste bad?
It does not taste bad. It does not taste good.
What does it taste like?
Sweet earth.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's what I thought about it. This tastes like dirt.
Why
That's
couldn't
sweet.
they make it taste like,
think vitamins.
a strawberry?
They went through your Laffy Taffy with vitamins.
Get in there.
I don't know. They have some like sweetener in it that's supposed to not kill you out.
Stevia.
Like, hey, listen, dude, I'm chasing my AG1 with Diet Coke. Just add some stevia in it.
At least you're honest about it. Welcome to the Baking Down Podcast. We are your hosts, the twins, aka Corey and Heather. I know you like to say Heather and Corey out there. We gotta switch it up sometimes. Younger first.
We wanted to talk today about some marketing tips we extrapolated from the event that shan't be named, the Vendy Blendy, which ended 2 weeks ago.
It feels like 52 years ago.
Really? I felt like it was 2 hours ago. I feel like I'm still awake. But lessons learned. This would be our 3rd year doing it, and every year
We're better and stronger.
better, faster, stronger. Because we've learned from our athletic greens. Because we've learned from our mistakes. But there's a lot of marketing that goes into that event. I know you guys know that because you've been hammered with it. So here is the list of things that we think that we learned work for the Vendy Blendy and can work for your business.
And before you turn this podcast off because you're tired of hearing about the Vendy Blendy, the group asked, how did you market for the Vendy Blendy?
So you guys get one last Vendy Blendy episode. So let's kind of go through these. The biggest one, and I wrote a post about in the group yesterday, is repeat, repeat, repeat.
Your snake is holding on to the top of the...
That's how he tries to break up. Yeah, so that backing piece is supposed to be decorative. No, he uses it as a hidey hole. I had to cut out a hole so he could get out.
Right now, his body's tucked behind it. Only
for some reason, when Corey walks
through.
into my office, my snake rises from the dead.
It becomes so active.
It is distracting to hear his little body shuffling around.
But the way that I'm seated at this little kid's table is I'm facing Heather in one and the snake in the other. So I'm either looking at one or both.
He's taking a lot of notes. Repeat. So
what did you say?
Repeat. See what I mean? So we marketed this starting, I think, at the end of August all the way up to the end of November, which is almost, I think it was over 3 months if we look at the timeline of that. And I know you guys felt every minute of those 3 months because we were throwing that word at you.
Cheesecake delivery.
Okay, Corey's distracted.
I ordered healthy
sick.
cheesecake. AG1 cheesecake.
Corey got a healthy cheesecake. You guys try to make it work in your own head. She said, do you want one? No.
How could you say no to cheesecake?
No.
Well,
repeat, because even up until the hour before letting people in, people said, I've never heard this.
what is a Vendy Blendy?
Fair question.
Yeah.
But isn't it fascinating? So I would say, because I had to delete every post we made about the Vendy Blendy the hour after it ended, we were looking at over 150 to maybe even 200 posts. And I didn't delete your stories because you said, or your videos because you said there was too much work.
Too much time.
So that, and I didn't even delete those. And you probably, posted 30 of them? And you posted 30 of them across multiple platforms. So I didn't delete those. But so we're talking 150 posts, 3 months of promotion across a lot of channels. And I still got the question, what is this? I've never heard about it. Some people had even been in the sugar cookie marketing groups for 3 years and
still had not heard of it. What does that tell you in your bakery business?
That towel you're about to throw in because you didn't sell out in 24 hours. Nobody saw the post. Nobody watched the story.
Yeah, you're in Q4 right now, and we've talked about it. That's when everyone is fighting for the same spot on your news feed.
People with big pockets.
With big pockets. For me to pull the trigger on buying something doesn't take a lot, but it takes more than one time.
22 touch points is the average time.
22.
And a lot
Probably
of us say,
for me, but
are you sure?
Cheesecake got me in one.
Can I give you 10% off? So yeah, if you take the average of, I've got to communicate this 22 different times and ways to the same person, how many times you're going to post? You're going to realize that single post you made with that one advent calendar picture isn't cutting it. And exactly as the Vendy Blendy dictated, you got to keep going. And every time somebody says, what? You say, hey, I'd love to tell you about this event. Even though you've been screaming at the top of your lungs, they didn't see it. They're living not under a rock, but under an algorithm.
Yeah. And every time someone asks what, it's another chance to, one, explain it to them, but also get more eyes on your explanation. So they might not turn into a customer.
Do not say a link in bio.
Or do not say pinned at the top.
I hate that you have that smartwatch.
I love
You're way too distracted to be having
Michael
a smartwatch.
said I have a coupon voucher.
That's the touch point. Michael has been listening to the podcast. Next, we have chicken and egg. So this is kind of the interesting one of the Vendy Blendy, but it also applies to people who teach cookie classes. The Vendy Blendy works like this. We tell a bunch of vendors that we have a bunch of shoppers, but which one comes first, the vendors or the shoppers? What happens is we kind of have to warm both of them up at the same time. So we'll say, hey, shoppers, how many of you want to shop? Hey, vendor, this is how many people want to shop. The vendor signs up, more people want to shop.
Right.
More people want to shop, more vendors sign up. By the end of this, we have a lot of vendors and a lot of shoppers, but not for lack of chicken or the egg, cart and the horse. Which one comes first? They actually both have to grow at the same time. So trying to bring that over to your bakery. Hey, venue, I'd like to teach a cookie class. Okay, they're like, how many people are interested? What? I don't know. I need the class. I need the venue first. So how can you do that? You can turn to your audience and say, if I'm interested in teaching a cookie class in XYZ area, how many of you would be interested in taking it? Let's say you get 20 people say I'm interested.
Yeah.
Hey, venue, I have 20 interested feet that want to walk through your door. Could I teach a cookie class here? Yes. Okay, interested people. I have this venue.
That's why I say the Cookie Class Kits membership that we offer is a smart buy. You get the pre-made photos.
I agree.
So thank you.
It is a great buy.
You can actually get the photos to market to get people to sign up so you can sell it to the vendor without having to order
that's
a bunch
a great
of
one.
cutters.
Here's what you
here's
can make
what
all
class
the
is.
promotional
Absolutely.
materials.
Yeah,
all you need to do is
absolutely.
insert venue here.
Listen, I only know how to market. Don't ask me anything else.
Okay, we have number 3, kind of matches number 2, but 2 campaigns. You came up with this one. Explain it to us.
So to get Pendys pending and to get Vendys vendying, there's 2 separate campaigns that went on. The way that we'd market to the Pendy people isn't the same way we'd market to the Vendys.
2 completely separate campaigns.
Yeah, so Heather headed up the Pendys. That's why you saw the last common standing. And I headed up
Corey
getting
went
the Vendys.
Vendy acquisition route. And then I went Pendy acquisition route. And then our campaigns looked a lot different because what Corey was selling the Vendys on is the value of marketing to the Pendys.
Yeah. So I say, hey, we're getting ready to bombard our audience of 45,000 group members with this Vendy Blendy. We don't allow people to sell in the group, but we do allow sales this one day. Wouldn't you want to reach all these people who are your target audience?
Now, if I turned around and took that messaging and said to the Pendys, hey, guys, you should.
We don't sell to you every day, but we're going to sell to you once.
Yeah, so instead, we found the 2 values of these 2 different groups. The value of Corey's group was marketing. The value of my group was deals.
And savings.
And savings and contest and winning. So we had 2 completely separate campaigns, and they ran congruently, but they ran differently in different avenues. So a lot of the vendor emails, we handed in email. A lot of the Pendy hype, we did it in the groups.
Yeah. So if you were thinking like, my pre-sales aren't selling out, or I can't get anyone signed up for my classes, those 2 people are not the same. We've talked about it multiple times. The people who come to our cookie decorating classes are not the same ones who
They're
end
buying
up ordering
customs from you.
Customs. Maybe one in a blue moon.
But then they just firm up buying customs. We're bad teachers. But you're right. It's because you may think, well, I made 5 posts today, but how many of those posts were designated for that one audience? What if I made 5 posts, but 0 went to the Vendys? Then I wouldn't have been able to market to them.
Right.
So we would say, okay, I made 3 Vendy posts and 2 Pendy posts.
Not saying you have to, but this is why me and Heather created a cookie class, its own page. So it's not actually
also its own website.
Yeah, it's not intermingled with my baking, my custom baking, because the audiences are different. You don't have to do that. We just knew it was going to be easier in the long run.
Corey, I manage the sugar cookie classes stuff, so Corey doesn't have to. So when you have 2 people, you split profits, but you also split workload.
True. Except for I'm making cookies for both. How does that work?
I just sling icing. Did you have to email them all reminders to pick up? It really, I know, like it, because we were twins and we split literally everything in our entire life, including our bedroom. We used to tape it in half.
Even dessert today we split.
Yeah. Even germs, apparently. But I know it's hard as a baker when you're like, hey, I'm growing. I had somebody ask in a cookie college, like, they're like, I'm at capacity. I have no more time left in the day. What do I do next? But you buy back your time.
Yeah.
And it's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you your bottom line. But the more time you have, the either more product you can produce or you can use it to spend time with your family. So when Corey and I started working together, it's just naturally that we split everything 50-50.
We do.
You don't split your customs money with me, buddy. I also haven't paid for those cutters.
$100 a quarter.
We're in court.
100. I gave you 2. I gave you 200 last time.
That was because you were upset. I was upset. Okay, we have 2 similar ones. Both of us came up with these points. I would take the first one. You take the second.
Okay.
Diversity in marketing. So we promoted the Vendy Blendy. Keep in mind, everyone's still always asking, what is this event? But here's where we advertised it. I ran a new group Facebook ad.
Yeah, it came out as Heather.
I hated that. It looked like, so groups are now have the ability to run ads, but it's rolling out so slowly. But the Vendy Blendy got the feature.
Yeah, because it was like weird.
Yeah.
Even though the group's not new. Because you had it.
It's small. So I wonder if that's how it happened. But instead of running it as the Vendy Blendy, it's like Heather Miracle.
Yeah, I know. It was
on Facebook. Here's the stuff she's posted recently. She's running an ad for the group. Anyway, so we did Facebook ads. We did page marketing. So the sugar cookie marketing page is 111,000 followers. We did email marketing. We have 6,000 email subscribers. So you email them once a week. So that times 4. We do the podcast, which gets around 20,000 downloads a month. So that happens 4 times a month. And then for you guys to bring it back to you, you'd post in community groups, whereas we posted it in our own groups. But for a bakery, you're going to want to run Facebook ads. You're going to want to post as your page. You're going to want to email your list. You're going to, not a podcast, but whatever avenue you have to fulfill kind of that one.
Yeah.
If you go to a farmer's market or something, and then you're going to post in your community groups. A lot of bakers I see, as they're throwing in the towel's halfway into the trash. Where are they throwing the towel in? I always imagine the laundry room.
Hamper.
Hamper?
Into the hamper.
In the towel.
Dirty clothes hamper.
Maybe it's like a mechanic, and they're like throwing in the towel.
Where it just catches the side of the truck.
Because the oil drum that was turned into a trash can. But a lot of people say, I made a post, didn't sell out. I think advent calendars aren't for me. Yeah, advent calendars are just the weirdest sell in the world because you got to get...
I don't like making
Some people either love them, some people hate them. It's the oddest thing because you either do 12 or 24, but you've got to sell them long before the day they need them. But long before the event, they're opening them up to.
And then you got to make 1 bajillion colors.
But one post to your Facebook page isn't enough. One email isn't enough. So with that, I mean, for 3 months, we hammered each one of these almost every other day.
Every day, I think. For a while.
The podcast 3 months, the email newsletter that's 4 times 3 months.
Yeah.
I mean, every newsletter had in the footer, join the Vendy Blendy.
Yeah.
So that one picture you took of the class that you promoted twice on your page and you didn't sell out of, well, no wonder. Nobody knew it was there.
Yes.
You have diversity of marketing, stories, reels, feeds.
So diversity of marketing. We all prefer something we post to, and it's usually whatever brings you in the most money. So a lot of people are like, Instagram doesn't work for me. I only post to Facebook. Well, that's because you probably make most of your sales on Facebook. So you see Instagram as this kind of loss leader. Like, I post to it sometimes, I never never get any sales from it, but you're leaving money on the table. A lot of your audience is on Instagram and they prefer consuming content on Instagram. I am not a person who watches stories often, but a ton of people only watch stories. So what I want to do, instead of just focusing on that one thing, Facebook, because I feel like it's the best, making that content go farther by maybe shooting the content in InShot. So there's no watermark on there. And then I can use it on TikTok and you can use it on Instagram, post it to the stories. And then I'm getting so much more bang for the buck and not leaving any one platform by itself.
So diversity in marketing, where you post it, diversity of marketing, where you post on it. So I agree with that one. You took your stories, you posted them to TikTok, you posted them to the Instagram feed, which turned it to a reel. Mm-hmm. Then you shared it to the stories. Mm-hmm. Then you posted it on Facebook feed.
As a reel, yeah.
And did you not just upload sometimes them to Facebook themselves? Which would have been an MP4 video. Those performed terribly.
No, because of that.
So again, a lot of when we do the whole repeat, people are like, well, that's pretty annoying.
It is.
I feel like I'm annoying my audience. No, because some of your audience watches stories. Some of your audience watches Instagram. Some of your audience is on Facebook. Some of your audience is in a group that you created, a VIP group. Some of your audience is in a community group. And some of your audience is on email lists. So you think you're annoying because you're seeing it all. They're not seeing any of it at all. Because as the Vendy Blendy shows you, it doesn't matter how many times you shout up from the mountaintop. Now, some people who are very engaged in the groups got a lot of that content thrown at them. Because the algorithm was favoring it.
Like you, they will be okay with singing it for the 50 bazillionth time.
Here's something else I was talking with on that thread I posted yesterday. If it is annoying to somebody, they have the ability to stop singing it.
They do.
And you may be like, oh, I lost a follower. No, they probably are connected to you in a different way. And that's the way they prefer to see you. Like sometimes I don't want to follow a Facebook page, but I still want the emails.
Yes. But at the end of the day, if they unsubscribe, one, you're not annoying them anymore. But two, they probably weren't going to buy from you your calendar thing. And that's why they unsubscribed. So it's okay. They've fallen out of your target market.
Interesting case study. Coach, the bag store.
Yeah.
I signed up for their text to get 15% off. Something I ended up not buying either. Yeah. So really worst hostage negotiation ever because I didn't buy, but I did give.
Yeah.
They blew up my phone.
See, I want to be like, there's not enough you're not making enough purses.
Right. I don't want enough bags. Yeah. So it was annoying, but I also got their ads, which I really do like their retargeting ads. I get their emails, obviously, because it was one of those, give us your email. Not give us your phone number. Like, that was unfair.
I don't like that.
That was unfair.
But okay,
so,
here you go.
I am annoyed by their text. It was a little much.
Yeah.
But I can integrate them another way.
Well, if you block their text messages, you're still getting their retargeting ads and
I get to choose how I want to see it. Because would I unsubscribe from everything at once? No, I'm not that annoyed. But I would get rid of the phone.
Listen, email me 52 times a day. Text me.
Paula's choice would like a word.
Once a month.
The SMS texting thing, we never have partaken in it.
One, I signed up for fastgrowingtrees.com.
What are you growing trees?
I don't even have a tree that I want to grow fast. But I was like, maybe I want a little house plant. Turns out, no. They all die. But how many trees do you want to sell me?
I think it's a little bit of they know they're going to lose you through the text, so might as well get one. I don't know. SMS marketing is so effective because everyone checks text.
Yes.
But I hate it. I hate getting them.
I mean, it's making my wrist with Michael. You text me whenever you have desires.
Then we have collabs and giveaways. So you'll see a lot, but be careful when you post to your social media with the keyword giveaway. You'll see that a lot of the Vendys, Vendy Blendy hype was generated through these giveaways and major giveaways. We ended up giving away 2 Carbon X1C printers and 1 Eddie. I think in Eugene Joe Sheeter, he gave an electric one away. Those are some big door prizes. That created a lot of energy and hype and incentive.
Yeah.
Because we said to people, you may not buy anything, but you might win something.
You also did the last comment standing, most annoying competition on the internet.
The last comment standing, if you haven't heard of this genius idea, I saw Domino's Pizza came up with it. And basically, if you post a comment, you are entered to win whatever the prize is. But if somebody replies to your comment, you're now out. So the strategy is, do you spend your time making sure nobody else can win, or do you spend your time trying to win yourself?
You can see how the audience were like, I'm going to comment because I want to win. And then they realized, okay, no, we're not going to win. So what we're going to do is make sure no one else wins.
Yeah, you can see
half the people turn on the other half.
Yeah, I didn't communicate this effectively, but the winner was going to be the first comment I found chronologically who wasn't replied to. So the strategy of making a ton of comments at the end, while it was effective, because some people were commenting literally like excerpts of a Dr. Seuss book, you would have to almost ensure that somebody else is on the other end, making sure nobody else won. but nobody was working together, so they were working against each other.
See,
it was
we
genius.
were working there because we split everything. I would have been on the
You're
offense.
on, boop the people.
defense.
I'm on. Yeah, for sure. I think it got in 2 hours 6,500 comments.
Insanity.
Got a lot of people suspended from commenting as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Somebody, a vendor did it during the Vendy Blendy, which was a genius, but then it got people suspended. They couldn't enter to win the Eddie. In hindsight, we're not going to allow that.
We're not.
Hilarious, though. Smart. So the giveaways, the incentives, creates a lot of positive energy. And because that's a luck, like a chance,
Yeah.
luck of the draw type thing, everyone can kind of say, well, why not? Somebody's got to win. And it's going to allow those posts to reach more feeds because of that engagement, which is called manufactured engagement. And it works.
I had one of my Facebook friends tag me in a cookie ears giveaway, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I love those cookies." And then she's like, "I'm so sorry, I just saw the word giveaway and I just tagged people."
I prefer giveaways where the person entering and the person they're tagging can both win. Otherwise, it feels like a
otherwise
use
I'm
and
like,
abuse.
"Okay, thanks for wasting me time."
Right. So you
Let me
can
go
even
into the
send
kitchen and make that myself.
So I prefer that. The same way why we don't do affiliate marketing for the college yet, because I need the person that gets the kickback and gives a kickback.
Yeah.
I really like when both sides get their back scratched.
You get
Otherwise,
something, I get something.
Yeah. That makes me feel a ton better. Like the Marcus high yield savings account.
Yeah.
Like they're like, here's your affiliate link. If you give this to somebody, you get this, but they also get that interest rate.
You didn't feel so
takey. Yeah. So that was a great one. Now this one's one I speak to is organization. And I know a lot of people suffer from lack of organization, especially in this busy time. Do you need to take the phone call?
It is my doctor, but no.
Answer it.
No.
Keep going.
I like when she leaves a message.
Organization. So the vendors have to, it's a little bit like herding cats, I'll be honest. They're not reading. They're busy. They're also getting ready for their
a lot of people
busy season.
Also in the Pendys said, "Why am I still Pendy?"
Guys, everyone gets in on the night of the event. But organization is really key to execution. So I learned from last year. This year, I had created an email sequence. And every email sequence started with, here's the sequence you can expect, and here's where we're at in the It was way too much information. It was everything they'd need to know ever. But
a lot of vendors said, "Wow, thank you so much for taking time." But you did have a lot of vendors say, "What about this?" Even though it's referencing
what I did is you just got to assume that people don't read, which is our next point. But in the organization is keeping it like a process. Like, here's what this is regimented. Emails start going out on November 1st. I'll get you in there by this date. The more organized you can be, the more organized your audience will be. So a lot of times we see that chaotic baker who has nobody showing up to the door on time. Didn't you forget to tell people where your address was? Chaotic baker.
Okay, guess where I am.
So what happens when Corey said, hey, here's the pickup date, she never gave the pickup address, and she's created a lot more questions in her inbox.
I know, where do I home?
Right. So a lot of the ways I like to do this is I create templates in Google inbox, like Gmail. You can make them on a free account or a paid account. Even for the cookie classes that we run, I've created the templates, and I just trigger them every time we have an upcoming class.
So when you triggered the first one the other day, you've made the next two?
They're already scheduled and ready to go. Nice. All I have to do is change the date. The date of the class. So I'll create these templates, and then every single cookie class, if they repeat, they're getting the same email, and it has everything that they'll need, and I never have to think twice. So you'd create a template, and it would say, hey, here's your pickup date, location. I even do a link to the Google Maps location, so there's no excuses.
I do people out there, Nathan Klotz, Heather's.
Did you sign up with him? Did you get him? Because he gave me the $10 Amazon gift card.
When did he give it to you?
2 weeks ago.
I didn't get him the information. He sent a long email.
Yes, I told him, if you think I'm bad, dude, welcome to my Twitter.
I know. And I didn't. And then he sent me he called my bluff. He's like, all right, well, I'm shutting the books on this. And I was like, no, what do you need from me?
Nathan Klotz. I used to work for property restoration, and I taught their continuing education classes that insurance agents are required to get every year. And then I ended up leaving that job. I'm standing at a random Panera in the middle of nowhere that I'd never been to. And behind me is a man. He's like, hey, didn't you teach those classes? And I said, dude, I don't know who you are, but I did teach those classes. He said, my name's Nathan. I got into, he's like, do you want, I said, listen, I'm going to tell you the same thing I said to my hairstylist. I don't want to be sold to. If you can beat the rate at which I have. Yes. But I said, if you're at your desk and you type it in and it's similar or higher than what I have currently, can you just not reply to me?
Yeah.
Just leave me alone. And he's like, absolutely, you'll never hear from me again. Ends up knocking the quotes out of the park.
I used to have the cheapest. I want to say $62 a month.
I don't even think you recovered. I think they just said
I know. I don't know. I was driving, but my husband got a ticket. And little did I know, if you live under the same household and you're married, it's like I got a ticket.
So Nathan ends up making me a quote. This is years and years ago. Rob, the guy I was dating, he makes him a quote, absolutely writes it in a way that saved Rob's boat when he was in an accident. Wow. Then I need to get a new quote because I moved in with Ruth Ann, broke up with Rob, switching the R's out there. And he goes to say, like, there's an old lady living in your house. Your rate's going to be through the roof. And I said,
we're not married.
Yeah. So he made me prove that she had her own policy. I wasn't going to drive my sports car. He pulls in her policy, says, Heather, I can beat this. Ends up beating her auto and homeowner's policy. And then I say, okay, listen, Corey wants to know, but same deal. You can't beat it. Don't talk to her.
Listen.
How much did you beat it by?
Stuff. No, I haven't gotten it. I need Nathan's auto declaration. I said Nathan. Both Nates. Nathan, I'm not married to. What is auto declaration?
It's just your policy.
Yeah, why not just, hey, I need the policy.
He's an
declaration of automation. I was like, what?
So you're still, I know your policy.
I'm collecting all the information. He needs Nathan's, which is like pulling teeth.
Yep. Yeah. Anyways, where do we leave off? I got a $10 for all.
How much is your monthly? Just don't even give me any factoids. I know you like to have a long story.
I pay for the year.
Divide it by 12.
What are you paying? What are you paying?
Ungodly amount right now.
Really? For who are you with? Progressive?
Yeah. Been with them for 15 years.
It's a game
of
not a game of loyalty. No. You have to keep switching.
I know.
Which is why Nathan Klontz, not the one Corey's married to, is an independent agent. Which, if you don't know this, there's captive agents. It means they can only write State Farm policies, so they can only work within the elbow room. So these independent agents represent 12, 13 companies,
and they just want you to sign up, so they don't care who you sign up for, as long as you get the best rate.
Absolutely. Insurance.
I just want you. You don't know what you pay,
Corey. I paid it literally. Let me tell you, I paid it at 5/18/2023, and I paid $1,400.
Okay, divided by 12. I'm horrendous at math. Horrendous.
So roughly, I'm paying $116. That's for renters and a car.
See, I'm at $188.
Oh my god.
188.
I'm at 116.
From 62.
Yeah, you aren't covered by anything.
I actually did get it. I said, State Farm, if you can beat this, I will only switch if you can beat it. He was like, we can't even touch it.
Oh, yeah, because they're probably like, you're not covered.
No, keep it like you are oddly covered. I don't know how you got that policy.
Well, you'll never see 62 again, I don't think so. But I'll be curious. I'm sure you could beat 188. Just a single car.
So. Yeah,
then aren't just going to get a car, buddy.
Being on there.
Just
being on there.
You're married. Okay, back to the podcast. Independent agents, though, if you don't like your auto insurance rate, I would encourage you to go talk to an independent agent.
Mm-hmm. And your rates are always increasing. They're not decreasing because of loyalty.
No, he actually switches me every year.
Yeah, what you need to do is say, hey, I'm shopping around for my car insurance, even if you're not. And see if you can't get any dealios, better rates.
Do you need to answer that one now?
No, it's from someone spoofing to be my husband.
Okay, speaking of, it has Nate. If he has Nate's auto declaration. We have the next point is no one reads. And I can guarantee you that was on both sides of the Vendys and the Pendys. The whole thing about the Vendy Blendy is that it only exists for 24 hours and everyone pens until then. It's written in the group description. It's written in the questions to join the group. It's written on every post. But people continue to ask, and it's no fault of their own that they don't read. We're busy. We only have split seconds to process information, and Vendy Blendy doesn't need to be at the top of the list.
Absolutely.
So it's easy to get frustrated that no one reads. But I would challenge you to this: put on your marketing cap and channel that fact into your marketing. No one reads, so you're not being annoying saying, "Guys, have you heard of the Vendy Blendy? Have you heard of the Vendy Blendy?"
Or you're not being annoying when you are posting the link to order. The more hoops they get to jump through.
Yep.
They're not reading. So if you say, message me if you're interested. Wow, you just gave me a homework assignment.
I know I got to talk to somebody. Yeah. So the shortest distance between making a purchase is the ideal one, but understand that no one reads. So when somebody asks you a question and you're like, it's in the copy.
Yeah.
Answer their question as if it isn't in that copy. Even if it's copying and pasting the information that's right there for them to read. it's not necessarily their job to find it. It's our job as a salesperson to make it easy to find.
Absolutely.
So when people ask me questions about the Vendy Blendy, and I'm like, it was clear in the email I just sent you, I don't say that. I say, here is the exact answer you want. And if you want to read more information, here's a hyperlink.
Yeah.
So just understand, no one reads. So they're not reading your marketing copy. They're not reading your sales pitch. They're too busy to act accordingly.
Amen.
Frequency increasing leading up to the event. So this is yours.
If we went hardcore 3 months before the Vendy, you guys would have been done with us.
You guys did do hardcore.
So what we did was, hey, do you guys think we should do the Vendy blending this year? That was our original. And you guys voted, oh my God, yeah, love the twins, of course my favorite. And then we didn't talk about it for like a couple weeks. Then you started seeing more posts about it.
For a while, there was like a huge gap when I think we did like the pumpkin collab completely. Like was like what Vendy Blendy.
You got to focus on one thing, you know. So then you didn't see anything about it, but as we approached the Vendy Blendy, then that's all you saw.
You can see the notes in the marketing meeting that we have on Mondays. It was like, you know, like working on this, that, and the other in the Vendy Blendy. But towards the end, it was like just Vendy and Blendy. Those are like 2 line items for both of us because the frequency increases as the event approaches. Now, I know kind of bakers work in past, especially like, okay, no one bought this. I'm not going to post about it anymore. Reverse that line of thinking. Post until you sell out.
Right.
And it kind of builds that interest. People want to go to restaurants where people are already eating there, right?
Absolutely. If you're thinking about cookie classes and you're thinking, okay, I want to do a July 4th Christmas, or July 4th, Christmas in July class. Hey, that makes sense. I saved it. If you want to do a class in July, the amount of people that would sign up today,
0.
Few.
Yeah.
Few and far, maybe one lone soul out there.
One person who's like, I'm really ahead of schedule.
Yeah. But if you're like, okay, I posted, no one's interested, we're
scrapping the class.
Yeah. But as you get closer, so we get to January, probably it's still cold. You know, February, still cold. Okay, now we're getting into those warmer months. As you approach the D-Day, per se, that's when you just go to town posting. You have a day that will end. You know, it's not like this is a forever campaign. So you need to get buns and seats, and that's why your frequency has to increase.
I think sometimes bakers are like, well, I sold out of minimum tickets. I need to make this a viable class. I'm going to stop posting as much. Reverse that. Even though now the class is definitely on, let's say like we have a minimum, I think 4 or 5.
Yeah.
We have the maximum of 10. If we reach 5 and stop posting, well, we got the minimum, but now we should be actually increasing our posting to sell that remaining 5. If that was the goal. So reverse the thought of like, oh, nobody's signing up. Or, oh, I've already reached like most what I need.
Yeah. And increase. So have your campaign. And that's why we say campaigns are something built, a marketing strategy built around a specific goal or day. Vendy Blendy being a day, your cookie classes being a day. And then you're going to create a marketing campaign, a strategy, a posting schedule around that, knowing that on this specific day, November 24th, we have got to have X amount of Pendys, X amount of Vendys. That's our goal. And as you approach that, almost look at it as a graph and you're moving upwards, your frequency is going to increase so you can get more of both of what you need, which is, you know, either venues or people in your classes and things like that.
Love that a lot. If it makes sense, the day of the vendor event, so I have to stay awake all night. Corey like takes a pre-nap and then wakes up at 11:50.
Take a pre-nap and a post-nap.
Yeah. I scheduled a meme to go up every 30 minutes leading up into the gate, even though we had already met our numbers. But that builds that up. When you think, well, let's take it down. You guys have met your numbers. What are you trying to do? No, you want to increase the posting. I had someone say, I saw a meme 2 hours before this event, and that's how I found out about it. And I think that is fascinating. If that's not a marketing takeaway, I don't know what is. On that note, setting up goals before the event. So before the vendor event, before we even asked anybody if they wanted to do it, we said to ourselves, what would be the numbers that we want? I think with the vendors, we wanted to surpass 35, which is last year's numbers. I think we had actually set the threshold of 45 because I had disabled the form at 45. And then with the Spenders, the Penders, we wanted them to be over 6,000, which was a number that we had last year. So really the goals
did have a no number. If we couldn't get 20 vendors, we weren't going to do it.
Because then it would have been more work than it was beneficial. So we came up with our goals, Corey and I did, and then we came up with but it would be nice goals. Like, so once we met the original goals, we, first the one is, if we don't reach this, it's not going on.
Right.
So we met that almost in the first day because a lot of the old vendors returned, which is great. So we met the 20 is the minimum vendors we have. Then I said, okay, 45 vendors would be the goal. And then the day of the event reached 6,000 Penders. This year, because Corey didn't cut it off, we ended up having 72 Vendys and we got 8,400 Spendys.
Which surpassed our goals, but we wouldn't have known that had we
not
been
set.
making it
Yeah,
on the
where's
fly.
success if you don't draw the line in the sand? So once we had reached our minimum, our goals, then it was kind of like everything beyond this is just icing on a cake. So do set up your goals. A lot of times I don't like the idea of just doubling the numbers and saying that's my goal. That's a hard one to do.
Hard one to do.
If you had 5 people attend a class and your next one is 10 people, you'd have to increase your marketing technically by 100%.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That'd be a 200%.
You have to make tangible goals.
Yeah.
Next year, we're not going to have 140 Vendys.
Right. But the goals being incrementally higher, I think a safe bet is an increase of efficiency of even 10% would be,
Absolutely.
wow. If you had 5 people attend your class, if the next one you had 6, you're moving in the right direction.
Absolutely. And growth isn't, what is that word when?
Linear?
Exponential. It's not going to be every time it's going to be bigger and better.
Right. It's impossible. Although our SEO clients would love to.
I know. The Vendy Blendy has grown. It's been around only 3 years. The bar was low. It was 0 before the 3 years.
While we did have 100% increase in vendors, we had over 100% because we had 35 to 72. With the Spenders, the Pendys, we increased by 30%. We went from 6,000, which was a goal, to 8,400, which is still 30%. Higher than what we wanted.
Some people would be like, "You didn't get 16,000. This sucks."
And then you're going to set yourself up for being a failure when in actuality you had just a phenomenal campaign. You just didn't set your goals up correctly.
I did see this post today in the group, and if you're listening, it was this macaron baker. She made 5,000 macarons.
Huh.
She didn't count how many she sold, but she had 3 freezers full, and then when the event was over, she had only half a freezer full. And she's like, at first I thought I was sad because it didn't sell out. But you can't say, because there's a macaron on the table that I'm a failure. No, you sold so many macarons.
You know when they say the SMART goals? The acronym SMART is specific, is it defined and clear, which I think a lot of us kind of blob about. We're like, if I sell something, that'll be great.
That's why I think when people are like, I'm going to post this up, and then they're like, I'm inundated. I made 40 people have ordered.
Yeah, my fear always around Christmas classes is Christmas classes are pretty easy to fill. January classes are considerably harder. Difficult. A lot of people will jump in on Christmas classes, which is a great strategy, and but they'll get a venue of 20.
Yeah.
And then the next class, even though Corey and I only can ever sell out of 10 because that's the max our venue, their 10 looks like 50% capacity.
Yeah.
They feel like failures because it was so easy to fill 20, but their goal is very different. So I just like
can't be, there's ebbs and flows.
Ebbs and flows that we know. Measurable, can you make sure you can track your progress? And then the big one is attainability.
If you're saying I need to
100% angry.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, at the end of the day, there's 24 hours and there's your 2 hands.
Keep it fast and the next person double it. So it's important to kind of understand what your goals are. Where did the number come up from? If it's a 10% increase, I really like that. That's really attainable. It's kind of easy to meet. Maybe it may not be aggressive enough, but it is also one that makes you feel good when you reach it.
Yeah, and there's so many ways to succeed that aren't necessarily only equaled in dollar amounts of sales. Did your email list? Did you open it?
What's your conversion rate? What's your click-through rate? Did you decrease your bounce rate? A bounce rate is when somebody comes to a website, doesn't find what they want, and leaves immediately. It usually hovers around 70%. What if you say, and you want it to be a lower number, what if you said, I want to get that down to 65%, which means your website's answering more questions?
Honestly, you'll be a happier business owner if you can not look at just one thing, but you can look at multiple things and be like, okay, in 4 things we increased, not necessarily 100%, but we got 30% here, 20% there, versus only looking at sales. I sold the bottom 7.
This is what, I told Corey, we watched Top Gun 7 times. Coffin's Corner. You got to trust the process, right? So when Tom Cruise is taking him into the wilderness and they're going to Coffin's Corner, he doesn't know if it's going to work out yet. But you got to kind of trust the process to see if it's going to work, because he said, here's what's going to happen. So we had a bit of a Coffin's Corner with the Cookie College, and we were focusing on the number of sales, which is always a strong number. But I also said, Corey, I want to focus on retention. The people who are currently in there, can we get them to stay in there longer? Which we were able to do by offering, hey, if you stay here longer, we'll give you 3 months free. But that means we didn't focus necessarily on signups, which is easy to be like, well, maybe we didn't reach our sign-up goal. Right. But if we look at the retention numbers, to increase that by a month, if someone stays in for 2 months, that is actually a goal that doesn't have as much as a financial win, because you're not seeing a sales number, but you're seeing a different type of sale.
We're losers.
Comments corner. Then you have, so incentives. So you said to the Vendys, sign up earlier and you get more marketing to the group.
So if you signed up early, you got it mentioned on the podcast, you got in the email marketing, you got post in the group. I think if you said the first person who signed up, you would highlight them, which was Bakery Tico.
And she was at the beginning and end of every list out there ever posted for 3 months.
So there's benefits. What was the words that I used? Incentives to get people to do things that you would like.
Here is a type of incentive. I know people feel weird running discounts on a product that's already been sold because you feel like you've left out the other people. Yeah. So if you want to work around that, for the first 10 people who sign up for my cookie class, for the first 5 people who sign up to my cookie class, I'm getting a grab bag in of cookie cutters and you guys get first dibs. So that says, hey, if you do this earlier, I have to work less, so that's where you're making that money back. And here's the incentive to do it more. You can say, 20% off for the first 5 people. You can say things.
You can say free cookie for the first 5 class attendees who show up early. If you have people who are late to class, incentivize them to be on time.
That'd be great. And then their incentives work in other ways that are not necessarily financial. So for our cookie class, we said at every class we taught this year, our Christmas cookie class will sell out. If you want, here's the incentive, if you want a seat, buy it now. Yeah. So the incentive was you got a seat. And then we had people at the last class I think we taught was Halloween. They said, I didn't sign up in time and you've been sold out. Yeah, the incentive was for the early bird, but it didn't cost us any money. We actually were able to sell out and not lose any money either. So incentives work in different ways. You can have a monetary incentive. You can have a discount incentive. You can have a free gift incentive. But you can also have, your no late pickups. So your incentive is to show up on time to get the product.
Yeah.
And the way that we have the policy of no late pickups, I send it in every email we send to class attendees. We don't honor tickets after class has started. So please even show up late if you can. Mm-hmm. There's your incentive. Incentive not.
I work off incentives.
It really helps.
Incentivize me.
But that's how our parents raised us. Do you want a cat? My parents would really say, if you eat this prune, I'll give you $20. I'm like, give me 50 prunes for $20. I hated my dad would be like, okay, if anybody eats this obscure food right here, I'll give you $20. But I'd be like, right here. And I know it took the joy out of it. He wanted the yuck face. Yeah. Absolutely not do anything.
Unfortunately.
And then Corey would do it because she didn't want me to have $20 more.
No way. Give me the prunes. Give me the AG1.
Hype energy. Now, this one's kind of hard to build up. Building up hype, I think the Vendy Blendy itself creates hype. But it requires a lot of creation on our part, a lot of manufactured hype. Being excited when nobody's excited yet is kind of hard to maintain energy.
Do.
So the way, here, tell people how you recorded those videos.
First record.
So wait, I'm sorry. The vendors would send Corey videos to review the products.
And I'd make these videos. And my first go through would sound something like this. And here's our next Pendy highlight. If you're looking for cookie cutters, it's a great place to get them. And I said, and delete. Our next Vendy Blendy highlight is one you're not going to want to miss.
But people feed into the excitement there because it is, I want to be excited. If you're not excited about what you're selling me, how am I going to be excited?
How are you going to be excited? If you're not excited about what you're baking, how can I get excited to buy from you?
Someone had posted, I'm not sure which group it was, but they said, hey, I posted this product, and I think in hindsight, my prices were too high, I didn't sell anything. Okay, assuming that they'd moved every other chess piece, let's say, okay, the price was too high, right? Let's just say. She's like, I'm just going to lower it. And I said, no, let's add hype and run a flash sale. Flash sale triggers this part of the brain that not where the gambling addiction comes from is that we're getting something that we shouldn't have, or we got lucky. We saw this post before anyone else did. And that makes us want to buy because it's exciting. Now, if you said, hey, that was 38, now it's 30. Now it seems sad. Now it seems like you realize that nobody wanted
any of this. So I'm dropping the price. Please buy.
Now they're like, oh, now this is like
what's wrong with it?
Have you ever been, I'm talking on JCPenney's here. I was talking about it with Ruth Ann. Have you ever been to JCPenney's?
It's been a hot minute. Usually I park there.
Because you know there's parking because nobody's at the JCPenney. JCPenney's has lost that ability to hype its audience.
Yeah.
It kind of did the whole weird coupon give and take thing, and now it's like low energy. It's not an exciting place to purchase
You know
something.
what's an exciting place? Sephora 20% off.
That is exciting. The energy in that store causes me to sweat.
Yeah,
The
but
lights.
you're like grabbing things, putting it in your car. I
Yeah.
don't even know.
Cream, okay. Somebody's constantly, can I help you? Oh my goodness, your skin
The
looks
line's
great.
long. It's hustle and bustle. They run the discount twice
It has
a
an
year.
energy. And the discount gets so many people to talk about these hauls, which also builds into this energy thing. And then you go to JCPenney's. The lighting is dull.
The lighting is dull.
The carpet
The
is
mannequins have been drawn on a few years ago by a roaming child.
And it has such a low energy. Now it feels like you go to JCPenney's for socks and undies. Like that's, and desperate sock and undies. Not the ones that you really like. This ones.
Maybe a PJ set.
The workhorse undergarments that you don't want to spend a lot of money on. You don't go a way to build hype when you go to the mall and stuff. Because I was thinking, Corey and I went there, is the way they package your stuff when you leave. So I went to this trendy Aritzia. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong.
Yeah.
Like TikTok influencer
Central,
thing. I walk in there. I look like I'm ancient compared to the girls there. But when I go to checkout, they got this really fancy quality bag that they give you, right?
Yeah.
Not to mention, you're not allowed to take your own stuff to the counter. Somebody does it for you.
Weird.
Yeah, wild. And also, this weird thing is they don't have mirrors in the dressing rooms.
It's
Hate
because
it.
they want you.
They have this communal mirror. Hate that too. But as soon as your little toesy steps out in that outfit you don't like,
Whoa, oh my goodness,
you
I
just come
love
off the
it.
runway in that thing.
Smart.
Right. And then when you go to take it out, they put the little
it's
tissue
because they
paper
know
the
you're
sticker.
your own worst enemy, so you're gonna bad talk yourself in the quietness of your own little
When you have to
dressing
parade
room.
publicly in this luxury feeling mirror room. You're like, okay. But when I go to take the clothes out, they put this tissue paper around in those giant stickers.
Yeah.
You were just unboxing something and you were like, this sticker's a quality sticker.
Yeah, what was that?
Coach, I think.
Oh yeah, remember we got these Coach
This
bags
is so
for-
funny.
No, we got these. I'm not gonna say that.
No. I'm going to say that she comes out with 2 bags. I don't know why she chose this, but one of them has that tissue
like
paper.
billowing, beautiful
And it
tissue
honestly
paper.
looked like she stole it from the front.
Yeah. And
Put
then
this person in.
one was naked.
Yeah, one she didn't have the tissue paper in. And I guess our faces were so like, one
I was like,
looks...
and she's like, "Did you want tissue paper in both?" I want to be like, "Yes."
So she goes and puts tissue paper in it, and it was like, wow, that felt so much more luxurious. What's the tissue paper in it? So it's that way to kind of create the hype.
Yeah.
You can also create unboxing hype, and that's why they do it at the mall. But like the Vendy Blendy did, you kind of create these energetic posts.
Yeah, the hype,
the
the vendors
enthusiasm.
being excited, the Pendys being excited, and us showcasing what they're offering to both.
Yeah, it's so funny. In the Vendy email, so you can say send a total of 7, but everyone starts with the current
Numbers.
stats.
Oh, that's nice.
How many vendors, how many penders, and I can't remember what else. It was something else, like a countdown.
Yeah.
But okay, those numbers are arbitrary. They don't know what the goals are. But I told them what the goals are. I said, hey, I'm so excited that we've met our numbers. Congratulations, everybody, today. We have done a good job. And that people were like, oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
They didn't know what those numbers are exciting or not. This is their first year doing it. But I was able to communicate the energy because I'm like, hey, congratulations.
Excitement versus giving them a random number to a person who randomly doesn't know what it means.
We can dictate the energy of that number. So back to the group. Hey guys, we have 72 vendors. That means 20% off or more for over 72 shops. And that was a lot of honor.
What if I said, if I was trying to fill a cookie class, and I was like, guys, we only have 6 people registered. We're going to have to close unless we can get to 10.
How do I need to communicate a minimum
Guys,
thing?
it's your lucky day. We have only 6 people. There's 4 seats left.
Yeah, you guys can snag them right now. I'll do this. For the next 4 people sign up, I'll throw in a DIY kit for
Don't
free.
tell anybody else. It's just
Yeah.
good for you.
And the way you can kind of create more exclusivity is to do that at an email list of people who've attended past classes,
Yeah.
which is something Corey and I do when we can't move buns to seats. Obviously, the big part of marketing for the Vendy Blendy is FOMO, fear of missing out. You only have 24 hours to partake. You can't.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
It makes sense that we would have wanted to market to the 45,000 people in the group by doing the Vendy Blendy in Sugar Cookie
People
Marketing
always
group.
ask, why don't you just host it in this group? Why has it got to be this extra? And if you're good at marketing, you'll understand that you're correct in saying, why are you increasing the length of the funnel? This is because of the theory of double opt-ins. You know, when you sign up for a newsletter, it's like, go confirm that you truly did sign up in your inbox and click again. That's called a double opt-in.
Run over there and you click it so you can get the 15% off.
That is one of the strongest newsletters you can have because people not only took a single action, they took a double action, a double opt-in.
They said, listen, I want to be here.
Right. With that group, we create a double opt-in. Like Corey said, there'd be 45,000 people who might buy, or 8,400 people who will buy.
So even though 45,000 seems like the bigger number.
And wouldn't you want to market that to people?
The stronger number is the 8,400.
Because it was a double opt-in. Essentially, those people said, not only am I interested, I'm so interested, I'm going to sign up for another Facebook group and Pend and enter the questions and agree with the group rules.
That's why when you look at your competition and you're like, well, they have 3,000 followers and I only have 400.
Give me 400 people who are reaching into their wallet than 3,000 people who aren't.
You can't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, make your mind up.
You can't judge something just because a number seems big. In this world of influence marketing, it does. People are like,
it's a numbers game.
It used to be a numbers game. Now people are like, what's your engagement rate? So big numbers don't mean as much as engaged people willing to listen to your videos through the entire thing. People willing to buy what you recommend because you recommended it.
Now, on the tail end of FOMO, so we've created this double opt-in again in the group. People are like, why shut it down at 24 hours? Let's let us shop for longer. We'll spend more money, we promise. And therein lies the issue with FOMO. When there is no true fear of missing out, nobody acts. Nobody takes an action. Nothing makes me want to spend money on Amazon like Prime Day.
Yeah, because it says lightning deal. Make your decision in 15 minutes and we're sucking this thing out.
You're not going to get it. Etsy's 32 million people have this in their cart. There's only 2 left. Yeah. That FOMO. So with the Vendy Blendy, yeah, sure, maybe we would have been able to get the vendors more, but it is the ending, the severe cutoff of access that gets people to take that action immediately versus this long drawn out, oh, it ended up.
Yeah, I guess I can, I'll check tomorrow.
My middle name, my nickname, if I had like a fighting name, like a boxing name, it'd be Heather Forgot Cart Miracle, because I love to add stuff to my cart. And because there's no necessarily like, you guys are running out of time. I'm like,
absolutely.
So with the vendor blender, because the energy is maintained throughout the day and then it has that severe cutoff, that closure, it adds to that FOMO. So you make it greedy. It is easy to get greedy and be like, well, they're here. They're at the class. Let me just, no, you got to cut it off. And then you can host a sale again another day. But that FOMO really, really helps make that event a lot more fun and a lot more stressful.
So instead of just being like running a discount on my DIY kits because you didn't sell anyone, instead say first 10 people to buy a DIY kit, you get an extra cookie on the house. Okay, now you've created some FOMO because if I'm the 11th person, I don't get a cookie on the house.
Now we have the next. We're almost done. I almost let these people go.
This is a long
Test avenues adjust accordingly. I do these like vendor announcements. Their graphics with the white and the pink. It had the vendor's discount code, their door prize, and their top 3 bestsellers. That is very informative. I thought it was very nice. However, you guys did not like it. I liked it. The vendor liked it. But the audience was like, rah, 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 rah. So halfway through, I think I got up to 25 vendors. I scrapped the whole thing and we switched over to Corey's reels that were a lot more energetic, a lot more engaging, a lot more captivating. And the graphics went the way of the dodo, and I'll probably never do them again.
But Heather could say, that's a failure. No. What we learned was you guys like to consume video content.
No,
you like to be talked to. You don't like to read.
Yeah. So instead of saying, okay, well, that's not working, we're shutting down the whole event, we just scrapped it.
Or saying, no, I'm going to make a lot.
It's like when I don't have a dog and I didn't do this to a dog. When a dog pees, you're supposed to bury his nose in it. You like this content. Your audience is telling you the content they like. Now, it's easy to quickly say, that didn't do well, I'm never posting it again. You got to give it some run time. We tested with 25 different types of that stagnant post to realize, that ain't it.
You know what's not doing great, but I'm going to continue.
The countdown.
My advent calendar.
Okay, Corey got 2 advent calendars. It's really easy content. I kind of like watching them. It's therapeutic.
I'm looking at the numbers, man. It's me and you.
We just need one to hit, buddy. So Corey has, they're 24? Oh, God. Yeah. Corey has these bakery.
There is a cookie cutter advent calendar and a sprinkle advent calendar from Sweet Polita.
Both are from Sweet Polita?
No, the other one's from the Maker Suite on Etsy.
Okay.
But I'm counting down the days.
But we're so hyping them up for I think they need a little therapeutic
That's
content.
a palate wash. A palate cleanser.
She's opening day. You know, I want to be honest. Yesterday was the 4th, but you were like opening up the 3rd sprinkle. I think you were a day behind.
No, you saw it on video. Cutters morning. Sprinkles night.
But so test avenues and adjust accordingly. You got to give them enough run time to see, like, is this performing
Listen,
well?
I'm going to give you 24 days.
And then you got to say, okay, that was a no. Are we scrapping it? Are we adjusting it? Are we trying something? Are we replacing it? And with the Vendy Blendy, yeah, those stagnant graphics, although the vendor's like, where's mine? I had to say, listen, you don't get one.
It's not benefiting you, and it's not benefiting me.
Nobody be reading it but you. So that is kind of how we do that. So you just gotta. But the last year was the only type of content. I don't think reels existed back then.
I was
year's
definitely
Vendy?
not doing them.
Okay. And then we have don't shut the doors too soon. So the Vendy sign up, I actually cap it off and it has it shut down. But Corey said, let's take the cap off of it. And we had people signing up to be a vendor the night before the event.
Yes.
And it's easy, I guess, to say, okay, that's it. That's I know you have to do it to some extent.
Absolutely. Here's the thing, though. If you're doing like a pre-sale and maybe your goal was to sell 20 and you sold 10 and you're like, all right, I'm done. Make a few extra. You're already making the colors. You already got the cutters out. There's last minute people that are always looking for something. You got your on time people and you got your last minute buyers. If you already are doing some of the work, make 5 extra. I promise you, you can sell
make
them.
5 extra for the class on Saturday?
Absolutely not.
Do as we say, not as we do. But yeah, that takes us through those. The vendor event this year, someone said calling it the vendor blender is like hearing its government name. Call it the Vendy Blendy.
Vendy Blendy.
The Vendy Blendy was wildly successful. A lot of you guys shopped. A lot of the vendors said, please let me back again.
Great.
That's
responses.
actually how we determine if we should do it again, if the vendors ask to come back.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it is nothing without it's
We
it's
know
just
you
called
spenders want a discount.
it's just called a blender without a vendor.
Right. So without the vendors wanting to come back again, I didn't ask them. I usually do an anonymous, like say yes
I've
or
been
no.
asking them
Yeah,
since
you
you
went
did it.
directly.
I'm like, hey.
I like to see them say they liked it. What are they going to say? I hated it. No, talk to me again. I blocked you. Kind of
I
like,
love to see the positive attitudes of maybe smaller vendors that just started.
that was a big thing, is the perspective of this. Corey said, I'm worried that the new vendors, Vendys, won't get the sales of the big venues. And I said, they definitely won't. But here's why it doesn't matter, because it's a percentage. So a shop that's been around for 10 years has the capacity to take orders for a shop that's been around for 10 years. A shop that just launched hasn't had a big day yet. So even selling 20 of something will be the biggest day in proportion
and there
to...
was so, like, the vendors, we still got to respond to the ones who sent those kind words. Like, you're like, this is my first year. I know this doesn't sound like a lot to you guys, but this is mind blowing on my end. That was so encouraging because I wanted everyone to walk away from the experience happy. It's really hard when you have that many hands in a pot.
But I feel like everyone did. I'm sure some of the vendors are like, I wish I sold more. I'm sure. But who wouldn't want to sell
We're
out?
humans.
Just turning and burning for these people.
I want to sell less.
Yeah, I think it really did well. And I appreciate the people who spent money because, again, without you spending, the vendors don't come back. And without the Vendys.
Now I'm getting my packages. I used the Whipsy vanilla powder sugar.
She sold out.
Yeah, she almost sold out of everything that she
Yeah.
had. It was, it whipped up like a
Is that your twin
silky
twist?
smooth.
You didn't have a schedule?
A little bit.
Hold on to it. I want them to stick to the end of the pond.
Putting a pin in it.
Is that let's go through our text real quick. And then we'll circle back around to the cookie class kits because I got an announcement there. Hello. Oh, somebody used a lot of emojis. I like it. Sophia. Hello, lovely ladies. I just wanted to wish you both a very happy birthday.
Thank you.
You two have brought so much wisdom and joy into my life. Even though I am a bread baker, not a sugar cookier, I'm look forward to your...
I love bread.
I love bread.
Love
Corey,
it.
our brother-in-law, Jeremy, he got into bread making like from the scratch with
Yes.
the yeast and the stuff. What are the starters?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, so he brings the bread for Thanksgiving, which sounds good, except for he only brings like 2 loaves. I'm not sure if he's trying to pull a Jesus maneuver where you break one up and another one for him.
bread?
Corey
Are we
sat him
running
down.
out of bread in the
Corey
world?
sat him down and said, listen, if you show up with 8 rolls amongst 16 adults, don't show up. Don't show up. So the man wakes up at 2 a.m.
I know. It was worth the
good.
sacrifice. Here's the thing. If he was going to show up with 2 rolls for every 4 adults, I was going to need to bring bread back up. I can't. We have the family where if there's 2 rolls left, no one will take it because they feel bad.
You would take it.
My son would take it.
Yeah. He's smart though. I mean, the bread's gotta go somewhere.
The bread's gotta go.
Anyway, back to my text. I look forward to your podcast episode every week because it helps keep me motivated and always teaches me something. You two sound like you enjoy what you do and it makes all the difference. I can't always understand what you say, and you're both laughing. And I don't think it's because I'm not a native speaker, but I just giggle right along because while I bake because it's priceless. If you ever plan to be near Baltimore,
Maryland?
Yeah. Let me know in advance and I'll bake something delicious for you. If you could pick up something yummy from my cottage bakery, Honest Breads. Lots of love and gratefulness, Sophia. That is
we love bread and we love being honest.
Hi, ladies. Stephanie from California here again. Just wanted to thank you both for a fun and crazy weekend. Y'all are moving the economy forward. I hope you got rest that you deserved on Friday. Heather, are you okay? Did we shoppers show up enough for the Vendys to come back? Seriously, thank you for the amazing community you've built and sending lots of love.
Oh, that was so sweet.
Last one. These are all like happy birthday ones that I like. Twins, thank you so much for your marketing help. You've grown your Instagram account a lot. And I was wondering if you can share any advice for someone who wants to switch to becoming a content creator. I'm going to let you take this one.
Content creator? Am I a content creator?
Kind of with those boring countdowns.
It's a chicken or the egg thing, I will say too. It depends who your audience is. So usually if you're a content creator, you're going to have more of a broader audience instead of saying like, I'm marketing to my custom cookie clients. Like,
right.
You're going to be like, I'm marketing to fellow bakers.
So that takes a very hyper-local audience to a very nationwide audience.
Broader audience, but it's still niche.
I say niche thrice, name your price.
That's true.
So the more niche you get it, the more niche you get it down to when you're got a very laser focus. Well, you're like, well, I can't sell to that many people. Those people, if you sell to them, will be absolutely buying you out.
So then it's the chicken or the egg thing. You know, you're not going to get people to sponsor you off the top.
What you did is make content for a year. And nobody paid you for it. Yeah. So Corey was reviewing products, and Corey's like, "Oh, this is costing me a small fortune." Reviewing gold pens and
like
mustard
things
dust.
I didn't want to buy, but I knew bakers would be interested in it.
So the bakers are like super interested in this. And then, but Corey didn't have this big following of people watching it. Now Chef Master was like, "Hey, can we pay for that?"
Chef Master was like, "Hey."
I was like, why is Chef Master like sneaking in your DMs?
Hey, Chef Master, you my DMs. Send me an email. Let's come out public.
So
it was the chicken or the egg. So what is, if you cultivate your hyper niche audience of bakers, it's going to be like, wow, I'm giving a lot and I'm not getting much. But what you're going to do is as you grow that engagement, that brand trust, so people are going to come to you and they're like, what do you think? Hey, I wanted to buy this pen, but I want to hear what you think about it first. Mm-hmm. Then you're going to have a little bit more flexibility. People are going to come to you. So a lot of times I will send stuff, a little question like, do you want me to showcase something for you? And now it's paying off because people are coming to me and saying, hey, would you highlight, we have this new business. Would you highlight that? So businesses that are small, absolutely, I'll do it for free. Call me Keith Lee.
Yeah.
But businesses that are bigger, then now we can talk about negotiating with price, money, sponsorships, things like that.
I'd say question where you build your audience currently. If you're taking your local, hyper-local bakery and now turning into a content generator for a national audience.
Split your audience.
Yeah. Would you get a new Instagram?
I would.
Yeah, because so Corey's hyper-local audience is Mixing Bowl Cookie Company. So she sells these cookies too, and that's kind of what we pipe some classes through, right? Imagine that if she starts posting sugar cookie marketing content on there, hey, bakers, here's this gold pen. Like, these are moms.
This is going to allow you to cut corners and bake less.
And don't forget to charge your audience more. Like, Corey's audience, her person doesn't really realize that Corey's increasing her price by 20% to see if they'd buy. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that the target audience that you grow from that account is very succinct. You don't want to start making one account go in too many places. And that's something I talked about with the vendors. Like I said, don't have your local cookie company that's based out of Wyoming also be the same one that's helping you sell this product, this cookie cutter that you're selling to bakers. It's very confusing for your audiences.
What's confusing is when a bakery supplier, I get an email and it was like, hosting my pop-up, get my macarons. I'm like, what?
Like, yeah, and it's like 500 miles away on a Saturday. That's tomorrow. So you want to make sure that you have that division of the content. You want to niche it down and keep niching it down. And then you're going to work for free. As an example, we spent our money. I think you and I put money into the company to get it started. And then we worked for free on sugar cookie marketing for an entire year.
We did.
Almost down to the month. I know. We're counting down and canceling. And then we decided to monetize it only after we built up enough value, enough of a track record that people said, wow, I really like the content they're producing. I'm willing to pay for it. Now imagine if we launched first and then then we try to add the value. People are like, what did you didn't add any value? I don't know what you're selling me. So you kind of create the track record and then you turn around to the people that would pay you, these businesses, and then say, hey, I'm interested in doing that. I think if I could encourage people, my own little thought here is I think a lot of the businesses are scared about what the number is of the cost of video.
Yeah.
I would say it up front. Like one video costs $300.
Yeah.
Get at me. Because what if you're like, hey, can you do a video for me, content creator? And they're like, that'll be $5,000. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah,
why?
that's true.
Right.
So actually, if you're really diving into the world of content creation, you can create a portfolio.
It doesn't have a fancy word for it?
Yeah.
I forgot what it is.
I'm going to say content portfolio is what some of them use. And it will have your breakdown of pricing. So you would send that to a brand and they could be like, oh, you know what? We checked on you. Your content's good. Your engagement's high. So yeah, we would like to do this, this, and this.
Popcorn them up and say, hey, a single video is going to be $500, but 3 videos will be $500. Right? Whatever you do, you can popcorn them up.
But it's going to be a lot of, the biggest thing is consistency. It is. You're going to be speaking to the literal wall.
Yes.
And no one's going to comment.
There's no energy.
No one's going to like your stuff. But what you're going to do is you're going to wake up every morning and you're going to have the energy. Like this is the first video you've ever done and 1 billion people are watching.
You just won the lotto and then you recorded this video. But think about it this way. And it's a great way to grow this audience is let's say you buy something you were going to buy anyways. Let's say you got the Whipsy stuff.
Absolutely.
You got it at the Vendy Blendy and then you make a video on it. But you tag Whipsy in it. So yes, you generated free content for them. Odds are they may share it.
That's what Chefmaster.
Yes, so they share it, but they link back to you. Now some of those people will go and follow your page. It's a great way to grow it before you monetize.
Yeah. So there's a lot of steps. Maybe we could do a podcast on being a content creator.
That'd be a good one.
If there's enough interest, people are like, no, I'm just trying to sell cookies.
You stop opening the little doors.
I feel like the sprinkles are winning against my cookie cutter.
Yeah, I don't know why the sprinkle gets
It's because it's a bright pink box.
And the sprinkles are so vibrant. And they have, now that I found that you found out they have names.
Crush Crinkle.
I was like, oh, so cute. They look also very big. I know you said they're half size, but they are
half size. You would probably
stuff.
make a good 1 cake or maybe half dozen cupcakes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's not enough. Fun, though.
I want to say, am I a sprinkle person? No. Do I have this box? Yes.
So that takes us to our text. If you guys would text in, that would be amazing. Otherwise, just me and Corey talking to each other.
The number is 571-556-5644.
I can't believe I'll remember that one. I'll be dead in the grave, and I'll be like 571. Who was that? The number of the podcast that we stopped doing 30 years ago. Subscribe it on my tombstone. Please text in if you guys have any questions or comments or things you've learned or things you've done. I'd love to read it. If you just want us to shout out your kids so they feel awkward on the drive home, please, by all means.
We'll sing them a song.
Amazing grace. Moving on, I want to circle back around to the cookie class kits. If you sign up before December 31st, 2023, you people playing catch up. We're from the future. If you sign up before December 2023, you get all the kits from 2023, and we've already dropped the first 2024 kit.
It's adorable.
After December 31st, the Cookie Class Kits membership, which is $63 a month, those ones will archive. They'll still be accessible for the Cookie College, but they'll become a single purchase price.
Where you can buy one at a time. Or buy them all.
For $63 before December 31st and cancel your account. You're going to get 13 classes. You get 12 classes from 2023. But the fun thing about this year as we move forward, the 2023 classes match the themes of the months.
Yeah, so
typical like
Valentine's
Easter,
Day in February,
Beach Day, obviously Halloween. But when moving into this one, Corey and Sweet Pink Olive are designing sets that are kind of unique.
We have a graduation set. That'll be fun.
In June, we did like beach stuff. So now you can do graduation, which kind of diversify your options here.
I'm thinking like a mom and their kid having one last hurrah before they go off to college, like cookie decorating.
I was thinking a kindergartner going to first grade, but yeah, okay, the college kid.
A lot of people have an age restriction.
So for January, you did a build your own snowman, which is a stackable set.
Do you want to build a snowman? Do you want to play with me? I don't know if that's a word.
So with this snowman, we had like 6 separate cookies for January 2023, which is great. It was winter warm. It was close. But this one is like more of an interactive. And now because the snowman stacks, you could easily cut out half those cookies and do a half-hour class with that for kids.
True.
Get rid of a beanie, get rid of a bun.
Get rid of the circle
snowflake.
eyes and just do 2 little dots.
You could do that.
Yeah.
Very fun. So that right now, before December 31st, you get all of those classes for $63, not each, all.
We'll need to make a little
$5
marketing campaign and
yes,
post
I'm
that
working
later.
on it. I'm still deleting Vendy Blendy posts. You can learn more about the Cookie College, which retains access to the 2023 classes and includes the 2024 classes at thecookiecollege.com, or you can snag the Cookie Class Kits at cookieclasskids.com.
And Heather never launched How to Teach a Cookie class, but that is out there somewhere.
I got to replace the class for the January one.
Oh, yeah.
It was Christmas class, and now
Do
it's...
you want to love it? Our vendors. They were vendors, but now they are sponsors. They're back to sponsors. Sponsor number 1, Bakety Bake. Just got my 5-pound in.
She never runs 20% off. She did do it for the vendor.
did.
Now it's back to 10%, but hey, still not full price.
She must have cleaned house because she
so.
said, "Thank you guys."
That was amazing. She also was out of town, so she didn't have to post something.
I know, but she got it. Bakety Bake is a meringue powder. It is the one I use for all my cookie sets. People love it. I'm glad we discovered her. I'm glad she became a sponsor. It already has 3
She was a risky
ingredients.
click when she was like, "Yeah, I'll give you guys a shot, I guess."
Yeah, and I was like, "Well,
You
can
and your
I-
2 listeners.
Oh, well, fine. I'll give you a meringue powder. She's had my money ever since. It already has white food coloring in it, which it whips up white. You don't have to add anything to it. Corn syrup. So if you're not familiar, corn syrup gives royal icing a soft bite. It already has it in there. And
What
then
if you don't use it? It's just harder cookie.
use it. Yeah. Oh, break your tooth. No, just kidding. It will still be soft, but if you're doing florals, you do want to
Okay.
add it because it can get a little hard in the tooth.
Ah.
And then the third thing is it has already vanilla extract. So you save money on those 3. It is silky smooth. It's so easy to work with. Love
Just like
making
me.
it. Pass.
You gotta say, it's kind of weird working with your duplicate because we work.
Listen,
we
I
think
never
the
see
same.
myself. You don't look like my dupe.
We
You just look like a random
like
person.
These strangers are
Yeah,
asking
but
us
my
if we're
eyes are
twins.
facing you.
Oh yeah, you look like a stranger to me. To other people, are like weird. But like with the Vendy Blendy, because I said to Corey, like you're a weirdo, but we think the exact same way. One eyebrow twitch, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So when you kind of duplicate yourself, granted you got to split everything, including your prunes, but you get
A headache.
Yeah. So the next sponsor is Eddie the Edible Printer. They are an amazing company. They donated one to the Vendy Blendy.
Insane. Mark, you're insane.
Jennifer, you never change, okay? But edible direct-to-food printer. If it sounds as crazy, I got some Eddie memes coming up.
Oh,
on
you
the page.
do? I love me an Eddie.
Yeah, because like it's I'm a size 1 Primera Eddie printer, and that would be the ideal gift for you to enter your corporate girly era. Here's how I'm going to tell you to pitch it.
Yeah.
Tell a husband, tell a spouse, tell a wife, tell kids. Tell the neighbor that's
Tell
been
mom
very
and dad.
nice to you. Say, listen, I worked really hard. I've been really, really on the nice list. My hands hurt because I have to use these stencils. And if I could get an Eddie, it would pay for itself and then some.
And then I won't have to spend $5 a stencil.
Right. And he's not cheap. So you would have to have been a very, very good baker this year. Any mishap bakers? No, don't apply this year. But he's $2,000. You can learn more about him at Eddie Edible Printer Users Group on Facebook or go to primera.com. That is the company that makes him.
Yeah.
It's pretty fascinating. You can't even almost describe it. You can search this up, Sugar Cookie Marketing Eddie on YouTube to watch us unbox it for the first time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
How crazy.
Wow. And if I can do it, which I am not someone who likes to learn new things at all, you can do it.
You do not like to. The fact that you picked up a scribe one day was so impressive to me.
It was bizarre.
Take us to AE Core.
AE Core backers, they are, if you've ever seen a photo that I've taken, it's been on an AE Core backers. They make backgrounds for your photos. So if your house is a little musty and dusty and a little crusty or dark like
What did you
mine,
do? The Usties.
dusty, musty, and crusty, or darky like mine, you can get an AE Core backers. They have them in bright colors, marbles, woods, bright colors, matte. They're food safe, though, is why I always recommend people use them so your customers can't come back to you and be like,
kitchen remodel in a box. That's what I'd say.
it is a kitchen remodel in a box.
It would be ideal if we all lived in brand new builds. We don't. And a lot of us live with those orange those orange cabinets.
A lot of times, is it easy to take a picture on a granite countertop or on your
Actually, find
wooden
granite is
table?
too busy.
Listen, it is. It will eat your cookie alive.
We
Those
don't want
little
the
black
cookies to compete.
speckles in your granite countertop, we know you cleaned. It looks
Because
like pepper.
what was the point of granite? The granite was to counteract the boringness of the cabinet. So it's a very busy granite, but now you're putting a cookie on it, and now the granite's like, I'll take you.
Yes,
This attention.
A-Core backers will give you a fresh start, a fresh foundation. It will help you make more money. And yes, people buy with their eyes.
Product photography. If that's your goal, and we're going to transition into new year, new me, new goals.
Yeah.
If that is your goal, that would be a solid match.
You can save 20% right now off your A-Core backers. Great for a baker who is looking for a gifty. I'm just saying.
People like the gift list from last week.
Did they?
I think so.
By using code SUGARCOOKIE, singular, at checkout. Bakety Bake is also 10% off if you use code TWINS at checkout. Eddie is 100% off if you just kidding.
If you buy one. If somebody gives it to you, he's free. Moving on to Twinterest, and then we'll cut these folks loose.
Cut them short. I gotta go get my child. My Twinterest is I used the Whipsy vanilla flavored powdered sugar this morning.
Okay, some questions.
Sure.
Isn't it already flavored like vanilla?
Powdered sugar is not flavored.
Oh, so is this punching up vanilla?
Yes. So you could it had the aroma.
So you're still using meringue powder?
I am, because meringue powder is what makes it hard.
So you could use
it,
Whipsy to create a tasteful glaze?
Yeah.
What are glaze people tasting like?
Huh?
If you didn't use a Whipsy powder, what would what does glaze taste like?
Just you would have to
sugar?
add, you do add flavoring into it. Yeah. So if you wanted to punch it up a little bit, or you could save on your thing.
What other flavors do you get?
They have orange. Lemon.
People like the lemon cookie.
Lavender. I know. Mango. And then chocolate. I know people would love that.
Right.
Vanilla. Yep. And then all her seasonal flavors. They were sold out before the vendor blender happened, but it was like pumpkin spice with one.
That's good.
Gingerbread, marshmallow, maybe peppermint. I can't remember, but I think that was it. Oh, she has strawberry too.
Oh, smart. How interesting. Very interesting. This is the first time I ever heard of it. It's the first time a lot of people had ever heard of it.
I had never heard of it before, but I cannot wait to get like the pumpkin spice. I just imagine a pumpkin spice cookie with a pumpkin spice.
That'd be good. We're entering, like, I know Christmas is flying off.
Oh.
But then we got the doldrums
my
of
advent calendar
January.
countdown tells me.
It's very slow watching your advent calendar. But, like, then we get this slow January. Do you know Easter's early this year? March 31st. Usually it's mid-April.
Really?
Oh,
that's going to be a lot of holidays. Oh, it's
just in March. February we get Valentine's Day, the Super Bowl, Mardi Gras. Then we get St. Patrick's Day, but then Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day. But January?
But here's the thing. Because Valentine's Day is 2 weeks into February,
but people don't think about it. People don't think about it until February.
2 weeks into Jan.
Yeah. It's always a rough one. The beginning 3 months holidays that fall halfway through months always make it hard. My Twinterest is I did get the stupid car try because I don't even deliver things, but it does solve the problem of, like when you use your passenger seat as a desk, a dashboard of sorts. Everything I've ever put there rolls away. This thing anchors. Now do you got the one that has the anchor that goes under behind the seat?
I bought it before.
They've changed some stuff. Now I added.
Why did you buy one, get one? And give me the other one.
I didn't get the base one. I got upgraded one with cup holders. And it had a rubber mat on top. Yours does not?
It was a rubber sign.
Yeah, no, it has a rubber mat.
I bought it way back in the day.
Yeah. I like that.
Mine was like, you buckle it in.
This one
I need the one that has the insert into the seat.
Yeah, that's what it has. This big old red thing. Use code BLK20 for 20.
I have one.
Yeah, the thing is the margins on that thing must be just straight up.
When they followed us on
they did? Hello.
Instagram, because I tagged them.
Yeah.
Throw me a new one. I'll make a video on it.
See if you can. Report back. See, so you can help your content creator question from the 224 area code. Okay, that is it. Can you go check them out?
Do you?